New day gamers get so excited when they get to a level where they can start touching girls during the set, do some KINO escalation. Well, let's talk about whether that's a good idea. It's not. Hi, I'm Saint Robert, and for the last several years I've been coaching day game all over Europe and North America. And in this video series I'm showing you the exact things I teach my in-field day game coaching students. I'll tell you where to find the rest of the video series at the end of this video. At first, you couldn't stop a girl. Now they're stopping, they're giving you their numbers, and they're coming out with you on dates. And now you start to see, wow, they are even allowing me to touch them, and they're so excited when I touch them. Well, sometimes touching girls in day game sets is okay, but in general, I don't do it. So let's cover three things. Why it's bad to touch a girl during a day game set. What about simply, for example, checking out her accessories or something else very light? And the third, what about handshakes? Can you shake a girl's hand at the end of the set? First, why is it a bad idea to touch girls during day game conversations? As weird as this sounds, doing sets that are incredibly good, like magical sets, actually is bad for your day game results, and they will end up in flakes more. They're called supersets, and let me tell you more about them. There are some sets where you feel amazing connection with the girl. It just seemed like, oh my god, it couldn't get any better. You are 100% sure she will come out. You're already telling your wings, oh dude, I met this chick, she's amazing, she's 100% coming out on a date, and then you send a feeler and she doesn't respond. And once you get really good at day game, you actually start running sets like that quite consistently, and some guys are really surprised. Wait, I run really good sets, why aren't they responding? Well, it's very similar. Supersets and touching girls in sets are two things that seem really amazing but actually get you more flakes. After she goes home after this incredible conversation with you, the bubble bursts, and she might think, oh wow, that was kind of weird how good that was, that's kind of weird, and she never responds just because that bubble bursts. And the same goes with touching girls during day game sets. When she's in a moment and she has these baby eyes and she's so surprised about what's happening and the attraction is so high, she might respond to touching so well, so good. But then she goes home and, well, just as it's very easy to kiss a girl when you're partying in a club, but then she never responds to your message, it's the same with touching girls. She goes home, but then she thinks, oh fuck, that was a bit too much, and she never replies to your feeler. Number two, what about simply checking out her accessories? One very simple escalation move to start touching girl is to check out her accessories, check out her tattoos, which is a great move for dates. And some guys do that on the street, and it's not really that bad. I'm fine with someone doing that, but if I was coaching someone and they were doing that, I would suggest against doing that. Because again, there isn't really any added extra when you do that, unless you're screening for a faster same day lay, and then you want to test compliance, whether she's fine with you touching her, and if she is, then well, yeah, then kind of same day lays might be easier to get, but it's fine. But I don't even suggest small touches like touching her accessories or anything like that. That being said, once you're getting better at day game and you have, let's say, at least eight day game lays, I'd say you can start experimenting, you can start seeing what works for you, and you should experiment. You should experiment with touching girls, with faster escalation, and with very many random things. But if you are just starting out and you have less than 8 day game lays, don't touch girls in day game sets. Number three, what about handshakes? Some guys, when they at the end of the set ask for her name and they find out the girl's name, they like to shake their hand. And I don't do that, and I again don't suggest doing that. It's kind of businessy, and the question is, why did the guy ask for the name in the first place? What's the difference? What's her name? The only reason to find out the girl's name is when you are entering her number in your phone, so you know how to save it. That's the only time I ask for her name, is when I'm closing. And after you've number closed the girl, I don't know, like a handshake seems very formal. And actually, if it's a chilled out country, I will go in for the hug after the number close when leaving. Sometimes, like rarely in a traditional country, I would never do that. But in like a crazier country, maybe like I'm on a beach town in Mexico, like I might do that. Like why not? Once in a while, but Again, I don't suggest handshakes, I don't suggest hugging. Handshakes are a bit too formal, hugging is a bit too much, and unless you really know when to do it. Well, congratulations. That's all you need to know about how to make a girl comfortable in the day game conversation so she's way more likely to come out on a date with you. You learned about the topics you should talk about, you learned about grounding and challenging and qualification, and now about touching a girl. And in the next video, I'll explain you one of the most important parts of the day game set, the number clause, how to ask for a girl's number in a way that makes it way more likely that she actually gives you her number. Almost all of the day gamers I've seen are doing this wrong, and they're missing out on many numbers. As I told you, this video is part of a big video series where I'm showing you the exact things I teach my in-field day game coaching students. So let me tell you where to find the rest of the video series to make sure you are not making mistakes earlier in the set and you actually get to implement things you learned in this video. First is the first part of the Beginner's Guide to Day Game video series. It's called the Structured Natural Approach. And in this video series, I'm explaining everything you need to do in the beginning of a set to make sure she actually stops and wants to talk to you instead of just saying, oh, I gotta go, I'm late for work, I don't have time, and all the other things you've heard many times before. The next is Beginner's Guide to Day Game Part 2, Attraction, and in this video series I explain everything you need to know about making a girl attracted to you. So teasing, storytelling, how can you tell whether she's hooked, and if you're not sure, how can you actually test where she's hooked, and many other things. And this video is Chapter 3 of Beginner's Guide to Day Game, called Comfort, and I'm explaining everything you need to know to make sure a girl feels comfortable enough with you and feels safe enough with you to go out on a date with you. And since there are so many videos to watch, I actually created a very simple poster showing, kind of in a linear fashion, all the things you have to do in a day game set, or which videos and in which order you should watch to actually get good at day game. Links to all of these things are in the description below this video. If you have any more questions, you can ask them in our Day Game Church group chat, which you can join by going to my website and joining a mailing list. And if you like the way I explain day game and the way I teach day game in a very structured, step-by-step way, and you want to get some in-field coaching with me, then below this video is a link where you can find out more about coaching. If you like this video, well, give this a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel and click that notification bell button simply so that whenever I release a new video, you get a notification about it and it doesn't get lost in between all the things you're subscribed to. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.